Hey everybody, my name is Esther and I have young onset Parkinson's disease. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So, I'm a mom. With or without Parkinson's, it doesn't really change the fact that I am still a mom 24/7. And I had kind of an interesting day today because my daughter got her phone confiscated at school for the umpteenth time. And so I had to rush over there. And as I started to pull up in the parking lot, I realized I had forgotten to take my medication. So the school knows about my Parkinson's, they're super understanding, but it always puts me in this position of like remembering how toxic stress is for me. And I think a lot about stress because it was something that I realized triggered my symptoms very, very early in my diagnosis. Way before I even knew that I had Parkinson's, I knew that whatever was going on with my body was made worse by stress. And I mean, that's not just a Parkinson's thing, that's pretty much a human being thing. So, one of the first things I did was try and reduce stress. And I did that by changing jobs, I did that by meditating, doing Tai Chi. Uh, Eventually, I ended up retiring early. But guess what? Life is still stressful. Whether or not you work outside the home, get paid for your work, or don't work, stress is still a part of life. And so I'm constantly trying to remind myself, like, take a deep breath, slow your roll, and it's gonna at least help things a little bit. But what I notice happens to me is like so much of how my symptoms are is dependent on when I take medication, and you just can't depend on it all the time. You know, like sometimes it just like for the last 3 days it just hasn't really worked that well. I think it had to do with what I was eating, but again, like life is still going to be full of stress. So it cracks me up when people are like, well, just reduce your stress. So I am, but the thing is, life keeps finding me. The stress keeps finding me. And all I can do is how I respond to it, you know? There's never going to be a situation where there's not stress in my life. And I know a lot of people talk about like work. And I mean, definitely when I worked, the stress made my symptoms so much worse. And I noticed immediately when I stopped working that my symptoms, a lot of them, like some of them just totally went away. Um, but that's not a realistic option for most people. I mean, you still got bills to pay, and I still got piles of laundry to do, and kids to pick up from school, and lunches to make, and all that good stuff. So, I do think there is something to be said about really, really focusing on reducing your stress, whether that's through prayer, meditation, breathing techniques. Somebody sent me a video about box breathing again, and I know that that has helped me in the past. I'm just not consistent about stuff. It's like I have Parkinson's and I was already like not a consistent person in a lot of ways. Now I have to be like a totally different person with Parkinson's. Like now I have to be an exercise person. Now I have to be a relaxation person. Now I have to be a consistent person. Like I got Parkinson's, not a brain transplant. Like I'm still just me trying to do the best that I can do. So I'm gonna try harder to like get back into better stress reduction techniques. But spoiler alert, life comes at you fast, and kids make it even come at you faster because they grow up so fast and like they've always got something coming down the pipeline. Like my kids are notorious for like, oh, I need a poster board for my science project that's due tomorrow. So anyway, if you have kids and you have Parkinson's, I feel you. If you have a job and you have Parkinson's, I also feel you. If you have a life in Parkinson's, I feel that too. So, as always, I hope this helps.